Welcome to 3D comparison. This will be an overview of Tripo3D Smart Mesh. So we see over here various case studies directly on their website, on their blog. I'm going to go ahead and I will generate various models and we're going to analyze those. Let's see over here, for example, within this car rim, we do have the following options. As you can see over here for the topology, we cannot use quads. So this is something that will definitely change everything, but until now we can go up to triangles starting from 500 all the way to 20,000. In this case, this car rim has 5,000 faces. If I'm gonna go like this with 500, I'm gonna hit generate again. We're gonna see that the model will be generated really fast, so we don't actually see over here the preview of our model. We're just gonna see Tripo logo. And we're going to see that for this car rim, to make it low poly, it will be as following. But if I'm going to go ahead and I will increase the poly count, let's say to 10,000, we're going to see that a lot more details will appear. And we're going to also have those elements where the rim will be assembled. So as you can see, this will generate really fast. We see over here the overall progression. And this will be the result. If I'm just going to disable the wireframe, it will look as following. Now, as you can see, it's not that clean. We do have the following mesh now. Let's just go ahead and add a different model. Let's say that I want to create this toy car. I'm going to go to the following 5,000 mesh, and we're going to see that the model will now be generated. We do have over here a toy pickup 4-track with a Christmas tree and some presents. And for this one, the result will be as following. As you can see, a lot better. We can also generate a texture for this. If we're going to hit over here on texture, we're going to have that texture being generated. And we see over here, we have that wrapped gift with a ribbon on top. And overall, we do have some decent geometry within this model. We see over here that for this car, we do have a little bit of a cutout. But other than that, once we apply a texture, this model will look pretty good. Okay, and we do have the texture now being generated over here. We see that the texture will take a lot more time than the mesh. We can also do some additional settings over here. In this case, as you can see, we can go for 4K. We can also enable 8K, even on low poly meshes, but we do need to have a max account. So in this case, I generated this on 8K. As you can see, I have a max account on Tripo. And this is why this will take a little bit more time over here to generate. But I'm expecting the texture over here to be really good. And in this case, since we don't have the actual mesh over here pretty well defined on the interior, we do have the steering wheel. I'm expecting the texture to compensate over here on those glass elements of the model. Now, as I said previously, if you have enabled the Max Pro subscription on Tripo, this will give you automatically this 8K resolution, and this will take a little bit of time, as you can see. But keep in mind that the texture will be heavily, let's say, a lot better than the 4K texture. And I'm gonna make a different case study regarding that. I already made one for the Chinese statue, and we saw the huge improvements in terms of overall quality for the texture. And we do have the model now ready. And we see over here within the preview, it will look as following. So take a look over here. For example, on this gift, we do have some interesting patterns, both on the sides and on the top. And yeah, take a look over here at the rim. Those are not perfectly, let's say, distributed, but it looks pretty good. Keep in mind that the reference was like this. So we see over here that the alignment wasn't perfect, but still it was a little bit better than what this was generated within the texture. Now let's have this exported. I'm going to export this as an FBX. And I will load that within, this will be the FBX, this will be the mesh, so quite small. This will be the texture. I'm going to drag and drop this within GeoMagick over here. So the model is currently being imported. Keep in mind that this will load pretty fast in terms of geometry, but the texture will be... Okay, we do have the model loaded over here. We see that the texture will look pretty good. So we see over here the fine details on the headlight over here. Now, regarding the overall geometry, I'm gonna go and do the following mesh analysis. And we see over here that this will have non-manifold edges. If I'm gonna go ahead and I will cycle between those, I see them that they are not visible over here, but there are 16 in this case. This is the total number of selected triangles, so 0, but we see that GeoMagick does see those over here. I'm just going to disable the texture over here so we can better analyze the mesh over here. And yeah, I'm just going to enable self-intersections, and we see the following. If I will cycle between those, we do have one self-intersection over here. So there are a total of 6 areas where we have that self-intersection. Over here where the Christmas tree will be joined together, we see those following intersections. Over here on the front, so those are in total. So we can go ahead and we can fix those over here. As you can see, if I'm going to apply this twice, the overall geometry will be changed since GeoMagick will try to fix those. As you can see, it's not that easy to be fixed directly, so it will require manual intervention to deal with those. After that, we have highly creased edges, but I'm really curious regarding small components, and we see that we do have some small components. So that means that this is not actually being joined together, so from the same mesh extruded, it's just floating over here, and this is visible over here. If I'm going to rotate around, we're going to see that those will not actually be linked. They are considered to be small components since they are not actually connected to the main part. And we see that even over here, there are multiple. So there are 4 over here in front, but there are some small components, I think, within the interior over here as well. If I will cycle between those, I do have that clipping plane, but I can't see exactly where the others are located. But I'm expecting the ones within the interior to be also those small components of the steering wheel. We do have 0 tunnels and 0 small holes within the mesh. We do have over here a little bit of self-intersection, as you can see it. And I can go ahead and I can fill that, but initially I will have to clean it a little bit because directly I can't go and fill that. As you can see, it's not being a good selection. Okay, so this was an overview regarding the overall mesh quality. I do think that Tripo will have to release that quad base mesh, and that will fix many problems, because usually with triangles you will encounter those non-manifold edges and usually a lot of tunnels. But if you have the mesh defined by quads, it will be a lot easier to add. For example, we have these circular elements over here. Those can easily be connected directly to the mesh if the mesh on the back is defined by quads. Over here with triangles, we see that that is a little bit more trickier. And Tripo in this case just decided to add those as floating elements. Okay, so let me know in the comment section, what is your opinion regarding this? Do you consider that low poly will benefit from quad topology? Or do you consider that still triangle meshes will remain the mainstream? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. You're going to find an additional video over here on the left side. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, you can consider to subscribe. You're going to find the button on the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.